I got this new M.2 enclosure from DocCase. Yes, this one is the one that has the screen that tells you all the data, data transfer speeds, all that. I'm going to show you how to install a FireCuda on it and kind of go over what these are and some of the benefits that these can bring to you. For starters, we're going to start on the back, which leads us to our first benefit. It on the back has a built-in heatsink, which if you know about fast data storages, those things can get pretty toasty. So we first start off by removing this back screw. Make sure these screws are tiny. Make sure you put them to the side somewhere safe so you know exactly where they are. That leads us to our next couple things I want to point out. It does handle all M.2 sizes from 2230 all the way up to 2280. As well as if you look right here, we have a massive capacitor that also doubles as an internal battery. If you look on the front, we have our power input and our data input. Now you don't need to use power while you're using the data. However, the power works as a reserve power source. So if it does short out, if there's maybe a power spike, anything like that, the power will help keep everything regulated so you don't corrupt the data. Now we got tiny screw little number 2. So we're going to unscrew this guy, get this guy out of here, which I swear the hardest part is getting these little things out, I swear. Now we're going to take our M.2, we're going to line up that spoke and that big spoke with the small side, and there's a little, let's see, can I show that on the camera? Okay, see how there's that little tab in between? Going to line those up, and you'll hear a nice little click. When it's in properly, it will look somewhat canted like that. Then you just press it on down, line the tiny screw, which again, this is by far, and I'm not even kidding, by far the hardest part of this entire process. So we're going to get this lined up and screwed in. There we go. Boom. And we talked about the heatsink earlier. On top of that, the heatsink also has a thermal pad built in, which I do very much enjoy. It's actually one of those hard thermal pads, so it's not actually going to leave any sort of residue or anything like that. Now, hardest part number 2, lining up this tiny little screw. Boom. Now we have just put in an M.2 into our M.2 enclosure. Now, what is this? This is a mass portable storage device. Basically, you use this in exchange for maybe a thumb drive or something like that. That's 1, not expandable. 2, have very low transfer speeds. And 3, a regular like thumb drive or even external hard drive, those fail, and they fail eventually, as well as does an M.2. Everything will fail eventually. However, on this specific enclosure, it actually does give you a lifespan readout, so it actually will tell you before your drive will fail. Now, I did make a video about this in the past, and a couple people were saying, oh, so if I get this, my drive will fail. No, you won't. Your drive won't fail because you got this. Your drive, an M.2, a hard drive, a thumb drive, all of them, they will fail eventually. They do not last forever. They don't. What this one does is gives you a heads up before it does fail with the onboard screen right here. But if you need something to